Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vanisha Alexander Marshall. Welcome. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome as well. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the bottom. And don't forget to click the bell so when I am uploading on YouTube, you are notified. We're going to talk about this makeup on my face right now. I know I look like a hideous mess. Okay. So let me just jump straight on into this makeup. This makeup that I have on, this is mostly Fenty. So I've done a previous Fenty Beauty video before for my first impressions on what I actually thought about the Fenty Beauty makeup. Well, this time I have some new Fenty and we're going to talk about it. I know you've seen so many people on YouTube talk about their new concealer and setting powders. And we're going to talk about all that because I did in fact get their new concealer and I did get their new setting powder. I am looking at them. Plus I got a couple of other things Fenty, and one is an oldie that I didn't get the first time because I just wasn't a fan. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we get started, welcome to everyone. Just gonna let you all know I do have a very big announcement that is coming. That announcement, I believe I'm gonna make it sometime the end of this month. And this is something I've been working on for a long time. I'm not going to get into it. It is a surprise. So look for the announcement both on YouTube and on my Instagram and on my business Facebook page. I will link my Instagram in the bottom of the description box so you can get a chance to get first dibs on what my big announcement is. Also, I am currently having a jewelry sale. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I am a jewelry merchandiser and I am currently having a big jewelry sale as I have a bunch of new pieces that are coming in and I have no room and I need to make room. But I will feature some of those pieces that are currently on sale in a later video, probably sometime this week. I will do another video with all of the sale pieces. But today we're going to strictly talk about Fenty. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am a little shiny, as you can see, because I have had this makeup on now for about 5 hours. And it has settled, and that's why you see I am a little shiny and all my oils have come through. Plus, we're going to talk about the foundation. I went a little heavy-handed with the foundation this morning, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm a little heavy-handed with the foundation. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I usually like my foundations a little darker. And then when I put my concealer on, it balances me out. Today, however, that was a little different because not only did I try some new Fenty, I also tried the new Juno sponge. So here it is, and as you can see, it's dirty. And it's got a lot of product on it from the Fenty Beauty foundation. This sponge, it is pretty soft and it is exactly what they say it is. It holds really a lot of product. And with it read on the instructions, and then you need to be sure that you're reading this because I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I really didn't pay attention to it until after the fact, and a lot of YouTubers have used this. Really all you need is just a dime size of the foundation on the sponge. I have the sponge that's square. I did get both, but the other one with the point, I haven't used that one yet, but I think I am going to continue to use the sponge. All you really need is just a little bit on the sponge and dab on, and a little bit literally goes a long way. And this is why my face looked the way it looked, because I made a huge mistake this morning with my foundation using this Juno sponge. And actually what I should have did was just put the foundation on the sponge, because I'm not the type of person that likes all this full coverage, and instead I drug it across my face using this sponge, and wow, yeah, I know I look a hot mess. So if you're going to get the Juno sponge, or if you have seen a lot of people talk about the Juno sponge, it's a great sponge. And if you're looking for that full coverage, a little bit goes on the sponge and just put it all over your face and it goes a long way. I have actually now learned that lesson this morning as a result of the foundation that's on my face. So yes, this is a very good sponge. It is very soft and it does hold a lot of product. And as you can see, it's holding a lot of product. And yeah, I haven't cleaned it yet because I haven't too long gotten home, and usually Sundays are usually the days I clean all of my sponges and brushes. But of course, I have been home. This is really the second time I've worn makeup since being out. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I have been in recovery from surgery. Today was the first day I actually drove. So I know when this video goes up, I'm about to have some very mad family members, and I know particularly my cousin is going to get extra mad. What are you doing driving? But I'm going by what my doctor said. You know, if I'm feeling up to it, I am going on week number 3, and she did give me the permission on week 3. I can do some driving, just not a lot of it, and I have to limit myself. So that's what I did, limited myself to church, and then I came back home. So yeah, that's why I have the makeup on, because I went to church this morning. So yeah, let's just get into the makeup. For foundation, we'll actually start with the primer. For priming, I did not get the Fenty Beauty primer. I may go ahead and pick it up. I know the last time I tried it, I tested it out when I got Fenty the first time. I don't know, it was just, I was kind of like, I was kind of on a fence with it, and that's why I didn't get it. I may get it this next time, because I did tell my husband I am going back to Sephora and I'm going to pick up a little more Fenty. So instead I did use the All-Star primer from Colourpop, so that's what I used to prime my face this morning. For foundation, the current foundation color I do have from Fenty. I did use my Fenty. Here it is. It is number 450. And again, I use this, and usually I don't go this heavy-handed on my foundation when I wear the Fenty, because I just put just a little bit, and a little bit literally goes a long way. I just went too heavy-handed on the Fenty this morning with my Juno sponge, and yeah, that's why we have this. So yeah, so that's what I have. Now for the concealer, we're going to talk about the concealer now. So again, this is my foundation color that I currently have. It's number 450. If you haven't, or if you've been under a rock, Fenty did extend their shade ranges from 40 to 50. So it's no longer 40 shades, it's now 50 shades. So that's just a great thing. Along with their concealers, it's 50 shades in the concealers. The concealer is actually supposed to correspond with your foundation color, which means it's a little bit brighter than your foundation. And because this is a little bit darker, and my actual foundation color is like 420. I initially didn't like how the 420, when I tested it out, I kind of didn't like it at first, but I think the next time when I go back and get more foundation, I will get the 420 this time. But usually I go a little bit darker. So for my, again, for foundation, I have number 450. So I did not get 450 in the concealer. Again, that's a little bit too close to this. And I do like to highlight under my regular areas, my eyes, under my chin and nose, and up here on my forehead. So the concealer shade I got is number 410. Here it is. Here's the concealer. Again, this is number 410. And here is the wand. Here's the wand. And I like the wand. And it actually, with this concealer, why I put it way over there, I don't know. With this concealer wand and the amount of product you get, it's a lot on the wand. It really is. And this concealer, it says it is full coverage. This concealer really is full coverage. This concealer is very, very creamy. And I also wanted to test and see how this concealer would do under my eyes. This is where I usually, and I'll come in closer, I usually get creasing under here almost immediately. And I mean, I did get my regular creasing again, as you can see. I don't know if you can, because I am so shiny. And this is why I have to use all that powder on my face, because I look like this. But I usually get a lot of creasing under here. I didn't notice it, but in the beginning. But now as it has settled, it's kind of like filled in a little bit. I may have some, but not as much as I did. Now when I used the matchstick in suede, I mean the creasing was almost immediate. I really didn't get a whole lot of it, and it does go on very smooth and it is very creamy. And this is where I put my concealer under my eyes, on my forehead, down my nose, and in my regular areas. But because I went heavy-handed with my foundation this morning, I did go a little bit more with the concealer to try to balance it out. And I thought I'd balance it out, but apparently it didn't. But you know what? It's okay. It's fine. It really is fine. So yeah, this is what I have. This is the final result. Would I suggest or recommend you get the concealer with the foundation? I would say definitely yes. It does retail for, I believe, $24 or $26, and it is a very good buy. So for those of you that have never bought Fenty before because of the cost, it is a very good investment, and I would definitely suggest, or recommend rather, that you do get both the foundation and the concealer. The foundation does retail for $34. So yeah, it is a very good buy. I would recommend, you know, again, if you've never tried it before, to go ahead and get it. It's a great buy. What else do I have? Oh, for contour, I did a little bit. I really didn't have to contour because, again, because I went heavy-handed with my foundation this morning. So I did do the smallest, and I did look a little snatched this morning. So I used the Fenty Beauty Matte Stick in Truffle. So I did use that this morning. Not a whole lot. The main ones was just right here on the bridge of my nose, and it came out. It worked out just fine. Now, I do have Fenty's new setting powder. I have the new Fenty Beauty setting powder, and I have it in the shade Nutmeg. Here it is. Yeah, you see the TV right there. Here it is. Now, it comes in 8 shades. And I am learning about this because this is the first time I'm wearing the powder and the concealer for the first time. I am learning with this powder. This powder, as you can see, here it is. This would be really good for me in this shade as more of a bronzer than for me as setting powder, because I always have to bake, and I did not bake. I just set it using my fluffy brush and using the shade Nutmeg, and a lot of my oils have come out. As you can see, I tried to blot a little bit, and I blotted a little bit here, and you can see I got a lot of the oils out. But I do believe in the future I would go back and I would get the banana powder from Fenty to bake. So I think that's what I would do, and use this shade Nutmeg more of a bronzer than as for setting my face. Now it does, I've heard a lot of YouTubers say, oh, it's got this light scent. Well, I didn't smell the light scent until right at the end when I was sweeping the remaining off my face this morning. It is the slightest of slightest perfume smells. You will not smell it immediately, but towards the end, that's when I smelled the hint of perfume in it. So if you're the type of person that's not big on perfumes in their setting powders, I would not suggest you get the powder. But if you're like me, if you've used the Coty Airspun, the Coty Airspun powder does have a lot of scent in it. This has the slightest of slightest scent. It is very, very slight. This is a good buy. I believe this is also valued, retails for $34. This is a good buy. I will suggest, because I've heard some people have been doing this when they got the powder. Make sure when you open it in the box, and this is how it comes in the box. It comes in a box like this. Here it's, oh, that's wrong. Here it is. This is how it comes. When you open the box, it has a plastic top that you put on here, and it keeps it from being messy. So when you put it on here, it's no mess. You won't get any mess. You pull it up, and then there is your powder, and it keeps it from being messy. So I thought that was a brilliant idea with the setting powder. So yes, this is a good buy. I would personally use this for bronzing, and then would probably get the banana shade to set my face and to bake. So that's what I would do in the future. For highlighting, I did highlight. Highlight, and I use blush. Of course, she doesn't have a blush. I need her to come out with some blushes now. So for blush, I use the Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is what I use for blush. But I went on top, and this is the first time. I don't think I'm nuts. So for highlighting, and I've just been loving my highlight, it is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighters. I actually got the duochrome, and yes, I know I'm late to the party. I'm late to the party with the duochrome, with the duo highlighters, because I really wasn't a fan of the other highlighters. Now her newest shade highlighter, I will go back and get that one. And that's a story with this. So first of all, the shade I got Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule, because I wanted something really, really subtle. Here it is. This is what I got. And I now know with this was a good buy for me. It's my favorite, definitely my favorite. Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. Here's a story with this. My husband and I went to Sephora. And of course, when we went to Sephora, it was my first time out of the house, because I've been in a house for almost 3 weeks recovering from my surgery. And I said, I got to go to Sephora. I've got to get the new Fenty concealer and powder. And I just went, you know what? I need to get a highlighter. But of course, the most popular highlighter is Trophy Wife. Well, my husband saw Trophy Wife, and I told him I'm not getting that because I'll look like a yellow highlighter. That's too yellow for me. For my taste, it's too yellow. He actually wanted me to get the yellow highlighter. I'm not going to get that. But the other highlighter that I tried, her newer one, it's still a little too much glitter for my liking, but I would go back and get it, and I believe I am going to go back and get it. And I will only use that highlighter only for like special occasions. But if you're like me and you don't like all that glitter and you're looking for something subtle and you've never purchased anything Fenty, the duo highlighter, Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule, that would be the best way to go. It's very, very subtle. When I put it on, I mean, it popped. My daughter saw me with the highlighter and she was like, yeah, I like that. So yeah, go with that, Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. And again, everything that I'm talking about, I am going to put in the bottom of the description box. So I needed something to go along with Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. I did not pick up the Moroccan Spice eyeshadow palette, so I went with my Shayla Perception palette from Colourpop. This is what I went with this morning. I only did 2 shades because I only did that because I want to correspond with the Fenty Beauty highlighters. So I started off with Played Out and ended with September. So I started with this shade and then topped it with this shade. And I kind of matched a little bit with the Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule, and I thought it was a great combination for a mascara. She doesn't have a mascara. I'm gonna need her to get some mascara. Anyway, for mascara, I use my lash lengthening mascara from Radiance, so that's what I'm wearing right now. And of course, you thought I wasn't gonna get a new gloss bomb from Fenty? What? And there's a story about this. So I did get her new gloss bomb called Fussy. So I am wearing that. And the thing is, I needed some new gloss bomb anyway, because the other gloss bomb, her original, I'm literally doing this right now because I have none left. What is that? Okay. Got something going on, but okay. So anyway, yeah, I had to get that, and it's so funny. Me and my husband had to laugh in the store, and so did my daughter, because when I looked at the box, I went, I need my glasses on. Does this say this is, no, it's Fussy. And I went, oh, I thought it said something else. And all I could do is just laugh. I'm just let y'all think about what I thought that was, and I'm not gonna say it out on the camera. Last but not least, I did set my face, and I set my face with the Wet n Wild Photofocus setting spray. But overall, this is not bad. I definitely would recommend the Fenty if you haven't bought it yet. The concealers are definitely creamy and they're definitely full coverage. And I absolutely love the concealer. I love the highlighter, even though it was one of the first ones that came out, but I still absolutely love it. The new gloss bomb, I'm so in love with these gloss bombs. I'm telling y'all, I'm so in love with these gloss bombs. Y'all, if y'all haven't gotten a gloss bomb, a Fenty gloss bomb, y'all need to get one because, oh my goodness, they are so universal. You can use it either as a topper with your other lipstick or just use it by itself. A lot of times I use it just by itself and I can go on about my day. So that's it with the Fenty. So I hope this video has filled you up, and hopefully if you've been on the fence for a long time about Fenty, hopefully I've been able to help you out with that. So with that being said, this is Venetia Alexander Marshall. Hope everybody have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.